It feels like every single business out there is getting told you need AI now. The pressure's just immense, right? But here's the thing. Just jumping in without a real plan, that's a recipe for disaster. Tons of confusion, wasted money. So the big question is, how do you get from that feeling of AI anxiety to having a clear, solid strategy? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
And that leads us right to this. The big question, isn't it? Is your business truly ready for AI? And I mean truly ready. Because it's not just about buying some cool new software. It's about a deep, fundamental kind of preparedness. And that's what this is all about. Helping you get a confident, really solid answer to that exact question.
All right, so to navigate the wild world of AI implementation, you absolutely need a guide. It can feel like you're lost in this dense, uncharted jungle. Well, think of an AI readiness assessment as your compass. It's the tool that's going to give you your true north and show you the way out.
So what is this thing exactly? Well, at its core, it's a huge strategic deep dive. And listen, it's way more than just a tech audit. It's a holistic look at your entire organization. We're talking your data, your people, your processes, the whole shebang. It's all about figuring out where you stand right now and what you actually need to do to make AI a huge success. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like some massive year-long project, right? But it's really not. A typical assessment is actually a super focused, high-impact deal that usually takes about 4 to 8 weeks. The whole point is to get moving, build some real momentum, and avoid that dreaded analysis paralysis. We want to get you clarity and a path forward, and do it fast.
So what does this evaluation actually look at? Let's pop the hood and really dig into the core pillars that are going to determine your true AI readiness. Seriously, this is where it starts to get really interesting.
First up, and this is the absolute foundation, your data and your tech. Think of it like this. Data maturity, that's all about asking, can we even trust our data? Is it good quality? Then you've got technical infrastructure. Basically, are your digital pipes big enough to handle all this? And finally, your technology stack. This is where we look at the tools you're already using, your BI tools, for instance, to see what we're working with. Because let's be honest, without this solid technical base, any AI project is going to be a serious uphill battle.
Okay, next up, we've got to talk about the human side of things. I mean, technology is pretty useless without the right people and processes in place, right? We're asking the tough questions here. Does your leadership team really back this up, or do they just talk a good game? Is your company culture actually ready to try new things, maybe even fail a little? The assessment digs deep into all of that, and it also maps out your current workflows to pinpoint exactly where AI could make the biggest difference.
And this third pillar, this is the one that ties everything back to actual business value. It's so important. This isn't about doing AI just for the sake of doing AI. No way. It's about being smart. It's about strategy. This is where you find those specific, high-impact projects. You weigh all the critical stuff like compliance and risk, and you take a hard look at what your competitors are doing. You got to know how you stack up.
One of the best things that comes out of this assessment is realizing that not all AI projects are created equal. Not even close. You learn to sort them into 2 really important buckets. First, you've got your quick wins. These are the high-impact, low-complexity projects that give you immediate value. And that's awesome for building momentum and getting people excited. And then you identify the bigger fish, the strategic initiatives. These are the larger projects that are really going to drive that long-term, game-changing transformation.
All right, so after all this analysis, what do you actually walk away with? Because let's face it, an assessment is totally useless if it's just some fancy report that collects dust on a shelf. The entire goal here is to give you a clear, actionable plan. And that plan comes in 3 powerful parts. First, you get your assessment report, a super detailed analysis with all the key findings. Second, you get your custom AI roadmap. This is where we prioritize those quick wins and strategic initiatives, complete with timelines and budget estimates. And third, you get a concrete action plan. This tells you your immediate next steps, from infrastructure improvements to getting your team the right skills. It's literally your blueprint for the future.
Okay, so as we start to wrap this up, let's circle back to the real heart of this whole thing and kind of reframe how we should all be thinking about getting started with AI.
If you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. The main job of an AI readiness assessment is to cut through all the noise, all the hype, all that internal confusion. It takes that big, intimidating cloud of uncertainty hanging over your head and turns it into a clear, focused, step-by-step plan that you can actually follow.
Because at the end of the day, using AI isn't really an if anymore for most industries. It's a when. So, the real competitive advantage? It's not going to come from just deciding to use AI. It's going to come from doing the hard work up front so that when you make your move, you are truly 100% prepared to win.